afternoon, everyone. Howdy. Welcome to Tilson Live. It is Tuesday. It is 2 o'clock. We are live on YouTube, live on Facebook, as we are each and every single week, coming to talk to you about all things building a home on your land. I'm Eric Allard, part of the fourth generation of the Tilson family. We are Tilson Homes, and I'm joined, as I am each and every week, by the great, the wonderful, the marvelous, magnificent, the celebrating her Tilson anniversary this day, Dawn Dantzler. Hello, Dawn.
Hey, Eric. How's it going?
It's going great. And happy anniversary to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your time and your wisdom and your knowledge with our little company, my family, me personally. And so I really appreciate you. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you.
Everybody drop in the comments. Tell Dawn happy anniversary. It is her Tilson anniversary. So drop that into the comments. While you're doing that, also drop in where you're watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you are in. You can talk about how Dawn likes being put on the spot, loves attention. These are all the things that she lives for. And so anyway, do that. Jump in, folks. Truly tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you are in. We are live on YouTube, live on Facebook, talking about everything you need to know if you're considering building a home on your land, or if you're already in the process of doing that. Maybe you've inherited some land, maybe you found some land, maybe you bought some land, maybe you're looking at land and you're like, what in the world do I do? How do we make this happen? And while y'all are dropping those comments in about where and what and all the things, Dawn is going to tell us what we're talking about today.
So today is another episode that's all about you guys. So we are here solely to answer your questions. So it is ask us anything about building on your land. So whether you're trying to figure out land prep, you're trying to figure out how to pay for it, you've got questions on design, whatever your burning questions are that you need to get answered, that is what we are here for.
That is what we're here to do, folks. Yeah, so it is ask us anything, and I mean anything. Dawn's a little less of the anything, but I'm like, let's talk about ponds and
our
fish
opinions get less reliable the further you deviate from the
you
core.
call yours opinions. Mine are facts. That's it. I just sit here and spit facts. That's what's up. You want to talk about government overreach? We're here to talk about that too. We
talk about that every week.
Subject matter expert right here. So, dude, jump in again. Tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, part of the process you are in. Tell Dawn happy anniversary. Thanks for sticking around. She's worked with me day in and day out all this time. So let that sink in. It's kind of like treble damages they do in like lawsuits. It should be triple. It should be 3x in years when you have to. Maybe it's like dog years if you have to work with Eric. It's like 7 times. So anyway, folks, jump in. We're going to talk about any of your questions that you have about any portion of the process, maybe acquiring land, maybe about construction, about site preparation itself. How do I get a culvert? What is the septic system? How does it work? Who designs it? How do I get it permitted? What about a water well? Who runs the water lines? Who does the clearing? How does all that stuff work? What's a dirt pad? What kind of dirt do I need? What do I not need? What do you do about out of level? What kind of railing? All of that stuff. We can answer all those questions. We can talk about financing. Right, you got rates that are dropping, which is great news for your buyer. Your dollars go a whole lot further right now. That's excellent news. So we can talk about all those things. We want to answer all those questions. Be sure that you are armed with the best information so you can make the best decision for you and your family. That's why we're here. Dawn, while they do that, we got people.
We do. We got Pam saying hello from Cat Spring in Colorado County.
I love it.
We got Danielle from San Antonio. Hey, Danielle.
What's up, Danielle?
We got Michaela. I'm excited for the seminar in Waxahachie in October. Yes, that should be fun. They're doing another one of their fall festivals, so they're going to have a lot of fun extra stuff there.
They are, yep.
It'll be a good one.
Maybe it'll be cool. We may have weather. We may have...
Yeah. It's October. That's fall, right?
Man, we're trying hard. We are trying hard.
We got Misty saying hello from Hood County, enjoying our San Jacinto XL. Awesome.
Yeah.
We got Amanda saying happy anniversary. Thank you, Amanda.
Oh.
Pam is also saying happy anniversary. Thank you, Pam. We got Danielle. Haven't started any construction yet. Just looking around, but just cleared our property.
Oh, beautiful. All right. You are at the right place. You're going to learn. We're going to learn you today, Danielle. You're going to get some knowledge.
Yes. We got Jen saying congrats on your work anniversary. Thank you. Sales agent in training from the Willis Park in Republic Grand Ranch. Awesome.
Yes.
Thanks, Jen. Thanks for joining the team. We've got Denise and good afternoon from Pearland Elite Training Center.
Nice.
Hey, Denise. We got Taisha. Hello from Victoria County, building the Marion. Meeting Mitchell and the builder on my lot today. Awesome.
Oh, very cool.
Very cool.
Dude, I'm sure your builder is too, but I don't know his name because he didn't mention it. But I know Mitchell is. You're in good hands.
All right, we got Jennifer saying happy anniversary. Thank you, Jennifer. We're building a Shiloh in Whitesboro. Just did HVAC yesterday, and the electrician showed up today. So excited! Oh, that's awesome. We were
Favorite part of every house, the HVAC.
Yes, essential part of every house. Got Taisha saying happy anniversary. Thank you, Taisha. We got Jen saying, I love the stuffed animals you have on your wall. So cute. Thank you. I made those myself.
Exactly. Yeah, she sews them, like, or not sews. I'm sorry, that's wrong.
Crochet. Yeah.
Crochet, not needlepoint. Crochet.
Crochet. Not knit.
Not knit.
I don't have the patience for 2 needles. I can just do the one. Just do the one. It's slower.
It's cathartic. It's cathartic.
It's a
for
lot
you,
slower.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah.
We get
she also does voodoo dolls, if you're interested in some of those things.
It's a secret. We got Denise saying good afternoon from Pearland. Really close to starting the process to build a Canyon D in Chapel Hill, Washington County. Awesome.
Man, Chapel Hill's so pretty.
Michaela saying happy anniversary. Thank you, Michaela. We've got Farron. Farron and Adrian, the farmhouse guys, Arlington C, saying hi. A septic design is done. Waiting on foundation plan now. So excited.
Oh, beautiful. Awesome. That's great.
We got Cindy from Allen, Texas, saying happy anniversary. Thank you, Cindy.
Very cool.
We've got Ro. Happy anniversary, Dawn from the Durs in Eustis, Texas. Thank you. We are into inspection week before installation and drywall. Our dream home is coming along so nicely.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Send us pictures.
Yeah. We've got Annette saying hi from sunny Florida. Hey, Annette.
It may not be sunny for another 48 hours. Y'all might get a storm coming in.
Not looking so bright. My daughter is actually on her senior class trip to Charleston, and I'm like, ooh, the beach is not going to be too fun.
May get a little brackish. Brackish.
Maybe spending some inside time. I don't know. So I don't know if this is Peyton or Rachel, but they're saying happy anniversary, Dawn.
Oh, Tilson Homes. Happy anniversary. It's not me.
It's not either of us.
Right.
Good Tynan saying happy work anniversary to the great and powerful Dawn Dancer. Thank you, Tynan.
You're right about that.
We got Connie saying hello from Snook, Texas. Hey, Connie.
Favorite little towns outside of College Station. Good spot.
We've got Gina with a question. Can you explain what the options are available if the appraisal pre-construction comes in low if trying to use Tilson EasyBuy?
You bet. Yeah. So actually, I'll let Dawn in her great and powerful wisdom answer. What do we do, Dawn, if the appraisal comes in short? Or like what do we do appraisal for anyway? And why would we do that up front? And can it come in short? Can it come in high? What?
Yeah. So the appraisal is just a third party. It's the same way that we would do evaluation if you were selling the home. So they're looking at the value of your house and the land compared to other things that have sold in the area. So they're looking really at the comparable homes in the area and saying, this is how much this home would be worth if it were built to this amount. So most of the time we're good. We're coming in higher, or we're coming in for what you anticipated and what you're going to spend on the home. There are some situations like Gina's alluding to where it is possible that it would come in lower. And this would happen if for some reason houses just aren't selling very much where you're building right now, or if you're building something that's significantly larger than the other homes that are in the area and they just can't find a good comp. So really your options are to take a look. If you have the funds available, we would be asking you to kind of come out of pocket and make up for that 10% amount on EasyBuy, and you'd need to come out of pocket for that. Or we can look at kind of downscaling what you're planning.
And I don't know if we've lost Dawn.
But you'd upgraded the floor so that we could make sure that we're building the home. We lost Dawn. Where'd you lose me? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. You seem to be back now.
Okay.
But I agree with everything you said.
You do it.
Yeah, so like you said, the first option would be to come out of pocket with the difference to make up to the 10%. Mm-hmm. And we can, in certain limited situations, depending on the area, depending on the buyer and some of the financial things, we have gone lower than 10% on a very rare occasion. The other thing could be, like Don was saying, we can look at if there's some things in the house that are significant upgrades that maybe that could be done later, that maybe we're not getting the value from because of the comps or comparable homes in the area. They don't have the values there to support it. And then,
yeah, because that is one thing about comps. Like when you're upgrading your flooring or you're upgrading your cabinets, the appraisal cares that there's cabinets. They don't care what style. So you're not going to get a lot of credit for putting in those upgrades.
Yeah, but we do, and so that on the extremely rare occasion, we can kind of go build a case to the appraiser, and we have gotten values increased. That is very rare because you're asking them to admit they were wrong. And I don't know if you know this about human beings, we're not real good at that. So, but it has happened. It's not impossible. But like Don said, it doesn't happen very often, Gina. So, but it is something that we are prepared to deal with, and we walk through with you step by step, because we want you to build a house too. So we look at all the options we can, and see if we can find other comps. Sometimes we reach out to realtors to see if they know of ones that maybe are in the area that the appraiser didn't find. It's pretty rare because they're all typically in the MLS, but we ask. So that's how we do it.
Yeah, and it's a good thing. You know, the reason we do it up front is we're doing it before any work has been performed. So we're finding out before anybody's spent a considerable amount of money, and rather than it be a surprise at the end of the build. So it's
yeah,
good.
and let's put Denise's question. I know she's not next, but it's a follow up to this. And I want to answer it. That she just dropped it in there about new construction.
Would you still under construction in the neighborhood be used as comp?
So
if
typically,
it has
no.
sold. If
Yeah.
it's sold, yes.
Yeah. But even under construction, no, it's going to have to be closed, right? So it could be sold by the builder and under construction.
Oh
that
yeah,
would
I missed under construction.
Yeah, that would not be a comp. It needs to be closed, and the people have moved in, taken possession. So which is why builders cutting prices everywhere. It's not really a good idea, because guess what?
Yeah.
Now your comps are lower. So something to consider.
For sure. So let me go back to
Steve. To answer Steve, it doesn't come like we don't do one once the bill is complete. So Steve, another follow up question. Steve, the only time that one has to be done after the build is complete is if it took longer, if it's been longer than 12 months since the first appraisal, and that's not something that we've run into since. Knock on my baseball bat over here.
Yeah, lock on everything.
Yeah, since the whole COVID ridiculousness, it has not taken that long to build houses. So we did go through a span there for about a year where we were having to get appraisals redone. Obviously, during that time, wasn't a problem because house prices were going stupid. So, great question.
And Steve is saying, well, what about if I was switching to a VA?
So if you switch to VA, yeah, that's a different story. They are going to come out and want to do that, and man, VA appraisers are tough, Steve. It's not to say, I mean, we do them all the time, but the VA appraisers, I mean, let's face it, right? I am not a veteran myself, but I have a number of veteran friends, and they don't have wonderful things to say about their services that they receive from the VA. And yeah, it can happen. Yep. The VA is one that they do force to come out and do anyway. That's why up front, Steve and other people who are watching, if someone's getting a VA loan, apart from like a one-time close, if they're doing a VA loan, I really like to have a backup conventional or FHA or some other type of loan. Like, hey, great, we can get you approved VA. Let's also see if we can get a fully underwritten approval on a conventional, just in case VA goes full crazy at the end of this thing, because that can happen. You're exactly right. And I hate it when that happens. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we have Kelly saying happy work anniversary. Thank you, Kelly. My husband and I are in the process of building the Canyon C in Kerr County. Awesome. We got Troyland saying happy anniversary, Dawn. Building in Sugarland, building a Canyon B. Hopefully we'll start our process in January. We're currently clearing the property. Awesome.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
We got Jason. Hey guys, back from the Caribbean, well rested. I'm going to the EasyBuy seminar in Waco and then starting the paperwork finally. Awesome. Yay.
Oh, let's go, Jason. That's awesome.
Let's go. We got Eric saying greetings from Beaumont, where there now resides a fresh 180 yards of new concrete.
Oh,
awesome.
Very nice. Very nice.
We love that.
I get to head that way this evening for a volleyball match there, Eric. We are playing in Beaumont.
All right. We got somebody from Frisco working with Sochi and McKinney, building in the free state of Van Zant.
Awesome. Oh, yeah. Grayson County, baby. Let's go.
All right. So we got Pam asking, what is the standard amp for home outlets and can it be upgraded?
They vary, Pam. They vary by location. Most of them are going to be 15 amp. Most of them are. There are a few that are 20 amp, and there are a few that are on an isolated 20 amp circuit. So, like a microwave or refrigerator, things like that. They're on their own dedicated circuit. They can be upgraded in some places, but not across the board. So the electrical code
Okay.
does limit how many amps because they want it to trip the breaker if something is happening, if there's a surge, if obviously GFI outlets, ground fault interrupt circuits. So ground fault circuit interrupts, things like that, they cannot be changed. They have to be low voltage enough or low amperage enough where they will kick over and trip before they do harm to a person or cause
Okay.
a appliance to catch on fire. So arc faults and ground faults can't be changed. If you've got something you're looking to do in particular, like, hey, I want a place for, to run my saw in the garage, maybe we put a dedicated 20 amp breaker in there, or a place for a welder. And, I won't recommend a garage but maybe maybe.
Yes. Sparks flying. Maybe.
I like sparks flying.
Sparks fly
But
outside. Sparks fly
I'm an
outside.
8-year-old trapped in a man's body. What are you gonna do? So, as are all men. Anyway, so something like that. We put in 30, 40, 50 amp 220 outlets for things like that. But I will tell you, we haven't really had issues with, like, a lot of folks are worried about curling irons, like me, and hair dryers, also a problem. So those things, we haven't had issues with those really. It's when it's appliances that have brushed motors. So things like vacuum cleaners, that they can be a little bit persnickety on some outlets that you plug them into because they do actually have a little spark in the motor. If you look at them real closely, you can kind of see it. Those will trip a GFI and in some cases an arc fault circuit. But typically in hallways, they're not arc fault. So but we're limited a lot, Pam, by the electrical code from a safety standpoint of what we're allowed to do. We can't just run everything up to 20 amp or 30 amp and do whatever. They won't let us. It won't pass inspection.
Okay. All right.
And I want to be sure it's a 200 amp service for the whole house, broadly speaking. I mean, some of our larger homes, they'll be bigger than that, 320 amp service. But I want to be sure I answer her question. I don't know which one it was. In case you're asking about the size of the amperage of the service of the house, it's a minimum 200 amp service.
Okay. All right. We got Tessie saying hello and happy anniversary, Dawn. Thank you, Tessie. We got Paul asking, are GE appliances an upgrade?
Well, welcome from Kirk Homes, Paul. So it depends which ones you get. We have some that are probably equal price and some that would definitely be more. But our supplier can get pretty much any kind of appliance that you want. We're doing Frigidaire and Electrolux is kind of our the mainstream of what we do in probably 95% of our homes. We do that specifically for the service. So we had GE appliances for a very, very long time. And we didn't struggle with the appliances themselves. We struggled with service afterwards. Not that the appliances were bad. We have service issues with multiple things. I mean, I'm sorry, performance issues with some things. I don't have a problem with that as long as you'll service my customers. I understand things happen. I understand things stop working. Like this is reality, but I need you to service my customers. And that was where we struggled in our areas with GE.
Okay. And then we have Connie asking, what is the ceiling heights in Tilson Homes? So it is going to vary in the different areas of the home, depending on the plan. So in the majority of our homes, you're going to be looking at a 9-foot ceiling height minimum. And then in other rooms, it's going to go higher depending upon what the plan is. So anything that's considered in our classic series is going to have a 10-foot ceiling in the foyer and the family room. As well as I believe the master bedroom, but your consultant can tell you more specifically plan to plan. And then as you get into some of our bigger homes, you're going to see that 10-foot in more places. Some of them are standard with cathedral ceilings. So it's really going to vary based on the plan. So that's a good question for your consultant about the specific plan that you're looking at. In most cases, it's actually noted on our floor plans what the ceiling heights are in each individual room.
Well, on the work copies for the salespeople, it's not on the website. It's not that.
It's not on the website. It is on the like printed slicks that you can get in the design center though.
Just see if
But
something.
Connie, if you had a specific plan in mind, we can pull that for you and get you that information. Steve, who was sharing about switching to the VA loans, is that they fortunately were able to make up the difference, but just good to know that it does happen. And
Yeah.
he says that they love their Angelina.
Good.
Awesome.
I'm glad.
We got Andy saying we love Tilson building in Hallettsville.
Oh, very
Awesome.
cool.
Thanks, Andy.
That's a good spot.
We got Mike. He had his foundation pour today. That's awesome. And let's see. They're building a Cisco B in Washington, Texas. Awesome.
Oh, right.
Gonna be
Awesome.
Great.
The birthplace of Texas.
Yeah. We've got Will checking in from Klondike. Hey, Will. It's
Hey,
good
what's
to
up,
see you
Will?
again. And Eric says that you need to stop by Hampshire.
I was just looking where that was. It looks like it's south of Beaumont. I don't know where exactly. I'm plugging in the school I'm going to and doing whatever.
He's
way
got to get to the game.
Yeah, exactly. But the team needs me.
The team does need you. We got Andy saying our siding is up. You guys rock and roll. Wish I could send a pic. Or Superintendent Colton. Our Superintendent Colton is great. That's awesome.
Oh, good.
I hear that. We got Brian saying we love our Tilson Homes. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Brian.
Great. Thanks, Brian.
Awesome. We got Tessie saying our Barton Springs home is moving along very fast in Kerrville. Very happy with the Tilson process. Exterior HVAC, plumbing, doors, and windows installed. Hubby has been living on site in the RV. I'm on grandma duty during the week and visit on the weekends. I always look forward to seeing the progress each week. It's been amazing. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
That.
Thanks, Tessie.
It's really cool.
I'm glad you're not having to live in the RV when it's 98 degrees out there.
Yeah. And sorry your husband's taking one for the team, I guess. But we got Jason. I hope this question makes sense. I met with Encore recently regarding power. They will provide hookup to the temp pole free, but it can only be 90 feet from the pole. How close does the temp meter have to be to the build site?
Man, I mean, we can do it probably up to 100 feet away. It's probably okay. I mean, with extension cords, you do have some amperage loss when you start getting much further away than that with extension cords. There are some 10 gauge, pretty heavy duty, 100-foot long 10 gauge extension cords that we can get a hold of and use that don't lose as much. They're bigger. I looked at one yesterday at Tractor. I think it was like $250 or something like crazy. Like I was blown away. I didn't get it. I needed an I needed a new extension cord because, long story short, the tractor put the new look.
What'd you cut?
Well, extension cord.
Extension cord. Yeah.
With the grapple of the tractor. I put it back together, but my wife doesn't seem to think it's safe. Anyway,
did you use duct tape?
Well, not yet. I'm not done with the project. I've got wire nuts on it right now, and it's working perfectly fine. Anyway, so all that to say, about 100 feet is optimal. So, further than that, I'm not saying it can't be done. It certainly can and has been done, but we need to take a look at it. But it's not a huge. That is not a huge deal. If you get power to the site, if you get me within 250 feet, we can figure something out. 100 would be ideal because that's close enough where we don't have an amperage drop, but far enough away where maybe we won't back into it. So no big deal.
Both very, very solid needs. I like that. All right. And then we've got our friend from Facebook asking, does Tilson ever do additions, extensions to homes that's already built, like adding a garage or a bedroom?
We do not. No, we are very good at new construction. Remodeling is not our gig. I will say it's a different set of trades. Honestly, because we have tried it before. Probably not since like 08 ish. I don't know if we did anything then. We tried it real hard in like the late 90s. I can remember doing a few of those. And it's no. Our trades are built for a blank canvas, if you will, not for people that are in the home currently and living. And yeah, so it's a different product. And I highly recommend you get referrals for remodelers because it is a very different. I mean, you think ours is very hands-on, but it's like 10 times as hands-on for remodeling because you never know what you're going to find when they start peeling back the sheetrock. Mm-hmm. You never know, I mean, the dust mitigation, sound mitigation, are you going to still be living there? Those are things to take into consideration. You want to be sure that someone that is hiring has the experience to do that and they have a plan and crews that are accustomed to that because otherwise it can be a very painful experience.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We got Will sharing the last time I got to say hi was from a cruise ship.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Glad to see y'all again, and a surprise for the farm. Be here in a few weeks. Okay.
Yes.
Glad it's cooling off. I'm happy for all of us started or getting a Tilson home. Congrats to you all. Oh,
Thanks,
thank you,
Will.
Will. So
Back to his
sweet.
Marine days, getting out on the high seas.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, you guys keep putting your questions in
Yeah,
here.
dude,
We'll
drop your
answer them
questions in,
all.
folks. We want to hear from you. Any questions you have at all about design, about construction, about pre-construction. We've seen some things about, hey, power. Jason had great questions about power, utilities. You got questions about
Mhm.
driveways, about culverts. Maybe you're crossing someone else's property, or maybe you're deeding out acreage from family land. Questions about surveys, questions about financing. We want to hear about that. What's a construction loan versus, EasyBuy or one-time close or two-time close? What's the deal? So drop in the, Farron dropped a question.
Yeah, Farron has a question. We are having trouble finding someone to demo our old home. It's a pier and beam, 900 square foot tear down. Any suggestions on how to find someone?
If I remember, you're in like the Sealy area, Austin County. I can't remember if it's Austin or Colorado County, somewhere out there. I want to say Sealy. I could be wrong. Remind me. Send us a what is it called? A direct message?
Private message?
Private
Yeah.
message. Thank you. Send us a private message, Farron, and we can get you some recommendations on somebody that can do a demolition. So
Okay.
it's a pretty simple process, particularly out in the county like that.
All right. Awesome. We got Tara sharing. I'm super excited to say that we have our meeting with our builder scheduled for October 7th. Another Tilson home being built in Robertson County. We're so excited. Do you agree that it's taking about 200 days to complete a build?
Well, and our goal is 225, and we're hitting that in a lot of situations. And we have some that are coming in under that for sure. So it is, we have some that are hitting. We have some that are hitting actually sub 200. I don't know the size of the house, Tara. So, but in Robertson County, that's a good spot to do that because there's pretty good trade base. We have a very good trade base there, and there's not a lot of red tape. So.
Yeah, I would say when you have that meeting with your builder, you can specifically ask them that question because he'll have a much more sense of what's going on directly in that area based on the other houses he's building. So he'll be able to give you a better schedule than we can. Let's see. E is asking, what do I need to keep in mind when building on land with an oil well and tank?
Great question. The biggest will be who is responsible for access and the maintenance of that access. So in most situations, let's say, I don't know if you own the minerals or not, but in most cases anymore in Texas, the minerals are not being passed on as much unless you can really good negotiate it. But let's say, for this example, I'm going to say you don't own the minerals, but obviously you do own the surface rights because you own the land. And what that typically means is that you or somebody who sold you has negotiated with the well producer, whoever the production, the pumper or producer is, how they're going to maintain the access to those wells. So let's say you come in the gate. I don't know if you'll come in the same gate or not, but they're typically responsible for the road from the gate where they come into the property to the oil wells, not beyond that, obviously, because they shouldn't be going past that. And if you don't already have a sign that says no oil field traffic beyond this point, get one. Because they have no business going past the oil wells. They don't need to be wandering around looking at stuff and helping themselves to things. No expense to our oil field brethren. Just saying. But that's really the biggest. The mortgage companies, they're going to have a couple of questions about that. I know we just recently got a title company to agree to do one, so I know it can be done. But we need to really take a look at the mineral lease agreements, how they're parceled out on the title work, and maybe in the warranty deed. The title company will be able to tell us exactly how the minerals are divvied up, and based on that information, they can work with the mortgage company on how to do the deal. There are some mortgage companies out there that will not lend on land where there's an oil well actively pumping. This is Texas. I'm not gonna say we do it all the time, but this would not be the first time we did
do it
that.
enough.
It wouldn't be the first time this year that we did that. So it can be done, but my main concern is access, and because they could start whining and crying because we're bringing concrete trucks and dump trucks and lumber trucks in there, but it's a short amount of time, right? They'll be pumping these wells for 20, 25 years. We're talking about a 7 or 8 month period. Okay, so I don't want to hear about that. They're running in and out of there with 18 wheelers nearly every day, I would imagine. So I'm not gonna put up with a bunch of you're tearing the road up with your concrete trucks. Almost as if I've been in this situation before with a pumper
Almost like you've heard this.
complaining about cattle trailers that were tearing up the road, and I'm like, you're driving 70,000-pound 18 wheelers, so I'm not listening to this. So.
All right.
Sorry, a little trauma.
We got Jen asking, can you go over the EasyBuy program?
Don can.
Don can. Okay. So our EasyBuy program is exclusive to Tilson. We're the only builder in the state of Texas that does this. And I really honestly only know of one other builder in the US that does construction on your land this way. So the way that EasyBuy program works is that you're just going to put down your upfront deposit. So your $3,000 deposit when you sign the contract. And then what we're going to want is for you to have 10% equity in that third-party appraisal that we were talking about earlier. So we're going to put together, this is the home that you're looking to build on the property. And a third party is going to say, this is what that final home is going to be worth. And we're looking for you to have 10% equity in that amount, which usually if you own the majority of the property or you own the property outright, you're going to qualify for that. And then that's it. You know, we also will ask that you get qualified for the final mortgage, but at that point we take over. So Tilson's going to pay for all of the construction costs associated with building your home. So we're paying for all of that out of our pocket. And you don't have any type of construction loan or any interest payments or anything happening during the time of the build. And then we're not going to get paid until that home is complete and you close on the home and it's time for you to move in. So that's how EasyBuy works, kind of in the quick explanation. So, and that's something you're not going to find with any other builder. Every other builder is going to require you to have some type of construction loan where you're either paying interest or interest is accruing during the time of the build, because they just don't have the financial resources that we do and that ability to pay for the construction of your home on their own. All right. We got Jessica asking me again with the worry questions. I received a bill this week from the potential cable company for foundation because it is past the due date for pay from Tilson. I let my project manager know and he is handling, but it made me wonder how or if we would be held liable in the event that Tilson does not pay a bill.
Yeah,
that's really
that's
weird.
A weird one. Anyway, I'll tell you how it works. Good news. So if you go back to your original conditions of sale that was on the very beginning, we actually, one of the last pages on there is an example of an affidavit of all bills paid. And liens released. So we will sign, an officer of the company, Brett Martin, our vice president of real estate, will actually sign an affidavit at closing stating that all bills have been paid, and that in a nutshell, in summary, what it says is if that is probably the case, we will obviously make you whole. So that's I've never heard of that happening with a post-finishing company. What I have seen happen in the industry typically is like maybe I don't say ours specifically, but it's in an industry, plumber, electrical, and HVAC company that maybe is not paying or is behind on paying their distributor, right? So like whoever they're buying, in a lot of cases, there's wholesalers that won't sell light fixtures like directly to builders. They won't sell plumbing fixtures directly to builders or consumers. They only sell to licensed plumbers or licensed HVAC or licensed electrical. And so I have seen and know in the industry and have friends that are builders that they hear from their customers that XYZ wholesale has sent them a notice that so-and-so plumbing is behind. That has happened, but it's very, very infrequent. And yeah, the good news is we sign an affidavit of all bills paid and liens released. So before you have to close on the house, that's a done deal, Jessica.
And Jessica, I'm going to look into that too. So we'll reach out after this to our accounting team and see what's going on. Yeah, we'll find out what's going on too. So we'll send you, if you could send us a private message, that way we can get back in touch with you when we have more info, because that's very odd. Let's see. Tara's saying, thank you for answering her question. We've got Danielle asking, does Tilson help with septics or wells if they are needed, or do we need to find separate companies for these?
We do. We have providers in almost all the counties that we build in, not every single one of them. But even if you're in a rare occasion that you're in a county that we don't have a contractor that does it, we will absolutely help you and help vet the contractor. So that's something very, very simple. Also, the county is in the area. They'll have a ready list, a lot of times online, of local registered sanitarians that can do the design, and licensed septic installers licensed by TCEQ, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, in the county that do that are authorized to do installations there. So that's typically where, if we have absolutely no resources, that's where we're going to start. But it's very, very, very typically we have contractors that do more so septics, not as many that do wells, only simply because wells are a little more unpredictable, because you don't really know the final price until they're done with the well.
Yeah.
Septic, you can get the actual upfront price on, just like in our houses. Water wells, like they'll typically quote you a price, you know, 10, 15, 20, 25, $30,000. And that gets you, depending on where you are, and that gets you a certain depth, you know, that's up to 250 feet, up to 400 feet. And then it's X amount of dollars per foot beyond that. But they really can't, once they start, they can't really stop until they reach, you know, an aquifer that's sustainable and that will produce enough gallons per minute for y'all to have water. So, and then there's some extra rare occasions where, more so in the hill country, where it just can't get many gallons, you know, maybe 2 or 3 or even 5 or 8 gallons a minute, kind of low. And in the cases like that, we have customers that are doing storage tanks. So they, you know, big, whatever, 3,000, 5,000, 6,000 gallon storage tank, and your pump for your well fills that up, and that's how you keep pressure on the house. So, but that's not all over the place.
Okay. Let's see. We got Eric saying, sorry, Eric and Dawn, I don't have I have no questions after months of attending these. Poor Chris Hinson is now babysitting me.
You're in good hands. Yeah.
Yes, Chris is a great builder. So he's great, by the way. Thank you, Tilson, for giving me Chris. Oh, that's wonderful to hear. Thank you for sharing.
Finalist for Texas Association Builder of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
One of 5.
Yep. Then we've got Denise saying, do you recommend a propane tank be buried or above ground?
Oh, that's a great question. So my wife and I disagreed on this. I like it above ground. I like to be able to work on things, get to things easily in the dark when I need to see things. I don't go to my propane tank very often. In fact, I have to mow around it. So she's probably right. But I don't know. It depends on where it is, Denise. So it does become an aesthetics situation. If it's going to be really close to the house, you know, you may want to just bury it so you're not looking at it. You have to landscape around it. Mine's like 300 feet from my house, and it's off the back of the garage. Like, you truly can't see it, regardless of what my wife says. You cannot see it from the back porch. And anyway, so I didn't want to pay to have it buried.
Like, make it a cow.
I have thought she is not down with the cow or pig or
I
don't understand that. So anyway, I actually saw there's one on I-45 close to Madisonville that it's not an active propane tank, but they stood it upright and they made it a minion.
Nice.
It's painted as a minion, which is pretty cool. So you can have it like a sleeping minion. I think that would be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, we may get that done. I don't know. She would not, but it really doesn't matter either way. I even know of companies that will even lease them if it's buried. So I bought so you can buy them or you can rent them, lease them, whatever. And then, you know, you can bury them or have them above ground. I'm team above ground just because I like to be able to see and work on things. I have yet to work on my propane tank and probably not qualified to do so. Not that would stop me.
But if somebody were to need to, it'd be more accessible.
Now, all of the regulators and everything, even if they bury it, Denise, the regulator and everything, all that is above ground. And you'll have a regulator actually on the house. So there's not a whole lot they have to get to. It's just
comfort level. Yeah. All right, we got Michael saying, joined late. We are talking to Hayden about the Polidoro in Fredericksburg. Question is about excavation for concrete. How far out of grade does the standard slab allow for from corner to corner? We are on cliche gravel mix.
Caliche, I'll help you there. Caliche,
sorry.
I know. So I was trying to pull up the county standards. I don't know if you had them up or not for Gillespie County. I want to say it's 24 inches. So let me go with that. I think it's 24 inches. But I'm trying to
Yes,
log
24
into it.
inches out of level.
All right. So yeah, we allow up to 24 inches of drop, and that's just of the footprint of the house, Michael. So we're not talking about the whole piece of property. We're just talking about, from the front right corner to the back left corner, or whatever the fall happens to be. 24 inches is included in the base price. And then anything beyond that, obviously the engineer comes into effect, and we have pricing for that as it goes beyond. So it's not, obviously we build a lot of houses in the hill country, and they don't call it the hill country for nothing. So we are very accustomed to building homes. I mean, even up to an over 130, 140 inches out of level. So we have a plan, and we have crews, and we have done it. So.
All right. Awesome. Taisha's asking, what should I expect with meeting the builder today?
Smiles, and it's they're gonna, whatever questions you have for them, ask. I mean, so the expectation should be, they're gonna give you, they'll probably go over some utilities with you, make sure about power, water, septic. Those are things that they like to touch on when they're there. Access, if that's not already there, or if they have questions about that. Preferred methods of contact or communication. That might be something to go over with you. Hey, do you like a weekly phone call? Do you like weekly text messages? Email, those kind of things. And that there's some things that we don't capitulate on. We do require that they communicate with you every week. I prefer a phone call. I like our builders to call our customers. But some customers like, hey, look, I'm really busy. Please, they may still call, leave a voicemail, and then follow up with a text or something like that. But those are some of the things that they go over with you. Probably some time frames. So they should come prepared to talk time frame with you. And if not, they'll have them real quick. They'll jot down and get back with you. But anything else you think of, Dawn, that they should expect?
The other fun thing is that you will get the key to your house. So you're going to get a copy of the key that we'll be using on your house once it gets to the point that we lock it, because we want you guys to look at the home anytime you want to. So we give you the key right up front at that meeting, so that when we get to the point that house is locked, you still have 24/7 access to it. So that's kind of a fun tangible thing that happens, is that you actually get the key to your house. So that's kind of exciting. All right. We got Yvonne asking, with the EasyBuy program, is there construction insurance?
Oh, yeah. So, well, I don't know if you're talking about builder's risk insurance or general liability or workman's comp, but if it's any of those three, the answer is yes. We carry our own builder's risk insurance, which is very rare, by the way. Come to find out, it's a lot of builders require the customer to choose the builder's risk insurance policy, which I think is crazy. But so we carry our builder's risk insurance, we carry the general liability insurance, and we carry workman's comp on our employees. And so what's not covered, Yvonne, is anybody that you bring out to the property. So for instance, you bring friends or family or something like that out there to view it on a weekend. Those people are not covered under our insurance. So you need to obviously treat it like a job site. Be careful, and only invite people love, and trust out there.
Yeah. The other thing that's not covered is your personal property. Is not covered by our policy. So that's why it's also very important that you don't try moving anything into your house until you're closed, and that your homeowner's insurance would take over at that point. We got Will sharing that the EasyBuy program is a very nice program. Yeah, I know that we'll use that to build his home. So yeah, it's a great benefit that we are able to offer our customers, and I'm glad that we are able to. Let's see. E from YouTube says, thanks and gig 'em for the oil well access advice, Eric. By the way, I was born and raised in Bryan and have loved Tilson since I was a kid. And his name is also Eric.
Eric, class of 07. I like it.
Awesome. Thanks, Eric.
My metropolis of Bryan, Texas. Home sweet home.
Yeah. We've got Jessica saying, I have notoriously bad luck, hence the worry. So I'm used to being a one-off. Thank you for the reassurance. Happy to send you a photo of the bill. Thank you, Jessica. And I'm in touch with Carolina, who is our accounting manager, and she is looking into it for you now. So I will let you know as soon as she has any other information.
Dawn has people for this.
We got connection. We just that's weird. So I just want to know what's going on for you, because that's very, very unusual. So something's up. Jason is asking, do you have any septic contractors in Angelina County? I'm not positive, but I don't think you guys had one on file. I'm not even sure if you've ever built in Angelina.
Oh, we've built Angelina.
I'm
before.
sure we have built in Angelina.
We have built in Lufkin, but I don't know that we have one on hand. I don't have one here at the ready. because we use multiple ones, but we can get, I'm so sorry, Jason. I don't remember which office you're working with.
I
But
want to say Waco.
we can get the information to them and get you some contractors in the left. One of our building superintendents lives in Grapeland. Right there, just south, not too far south at all, north of Crockett, south of Palestine. I can guarantee you we can get some recommendations. That's not okay. Waco, yeah, we'll get some information over the Waco office.
All right, awesome. We got Lance saying hello from Victoria County, San Antonio B. The interior doors and baseboards were done last week. Interior paint is scheduled for later this week.
Awesome.
You are finishing up. That's awesome. Farron is saying, okay, now this is ironic. Well, I'm watching you guys. We got an email from a company that says they do the appraisal and are wanting us to pay for it. And now I'm curious if that is a scam. Do we pay for that or does Tilson? We're suspicious since we get stuff in the mail unsolicited.
Oh, yeah.
It's for the EasyBuy program, we would assume.
Yeah, typically that is the customer does pay for it, but it's part of the. And I don't know if you're working with Wagon Hill, so just forgive me. So if it's Wagon Hill, they should have gone over that with you. John or Jason or Blair go over that with you from the get go. It's typically part of the application package that they have a fee that for an application somewhere around $1,000, something like that, between $700 and $1,100. And the whole point, like, that's paying for the appraisal. It's basically paying for your appraisal and your credit report is what that's paying for. So it is normal that the customer pays for it. I have not seen an email from, I'm not saying it can't be the case, but don't do anything until you call the lender. Call the lender and say, hey, is this legit? Is this what I should be looking for? And if it is, go that way. But I would think it would look more like the application, like an application fee or an application package type of thing. So smart to ask questions.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Danielle is asking, does Tilson allow you to pour your own foundation? She's asking because she works for a foundation company.
Okay, well, we'd have to sit down, and I don't know if you work for the concrete company or if you work for a foundation, a company that does foundations. Broadly speaking, the answer is no, we do not. However, that is something that we would need to run up our construction side of the flagpole. So our construction vice president would be involved for the area you're building, and probably our senior vice president of construction, Justin Ordino, would ultimately have to make that call. We'd want to go see some of the work. We'd want to know, what type of foundation systems that the customers are doing. All the right things, because to make sure that we're on the hook and our engineer is on the hook for the foundation warranty. And so we just want to be sure the people we're working with are, obviously you probably would be working there if you didn't think it was an upstanding company, but you have to understand we need to do our own due diligence as well. We don't just go around guinea pigging our customers. So I'm not, there's a very small opening to the door that it's possible. But I would be remiss and Justin would kill me in my sleep somehow if I didn't say that, broadly speaking, that is one of the sacred things that we don't typically let customers do. But this is a very unique situation. So there's a possibility.
Okay, makes sense. We got Faith saying, congratulations, Taisha. It's key time. And Taisha saying, I'm good at smiling. Getting a key is exciting. So thanks for the info.
You're going to be great.
Congratulations. Yeah, it's going to be fun. You're going to like it. You're going to have a good time. We got Yvonne saying, following up on the construction insurance question, is this an additional cost to the buyer or is this included in your pricing?
Oh, yeah. No, all the insurance we carry is included in the price of the house. Because it's for our protection as much as yours, or maybe more so for us. Because remember, with our business model, Yvonne, we're not getting paid. If you're doing a loan, we're not getting paid anything until the house is finished. So that's why we carry that builder's risk insurance. If something were to happen to the house or stuff gets stolen or whatever, we're the ones that need to get made whole because you're not paying for anything until it's done. And again, I'm referencing builder's risk insurance. I've never heard of construction insurance. That's not a term that I'm familiar with. I'm not saying it's not a thing, but it's not what I'm familiar with. I'm familiar with general liability insurance, workman's comp for our employees, and builder's risk insurance. So if it's builder's risk, that's we carry it, and no, we do not charge extra for that because again, we're protecting our stuff.
And then same thing on the other two, because those are just part of actually being a company. Like you should have those things. So that's you're not getting charged for that. Alicia's saying hello, Tilson family. I'm late, but just want to shout out Juan with the spring office. We had our
Oh,
stakeout this morning. Very grateful to have knowledgeable people on our team with Tilson.
yeah.
Awesome.
Juan's
Thank
been
you
doing
for
this a little
sharing.
bit. I think he's at 22 years or so doing site evaluations and stuff. Yeah, you're in good hands. He's sharp.
Awesome.
Very, very sharp. Okay, so
Right.
we can ask more questions if you like. We got another couple minutes. We want to hear from you. If you got any other burning questions, we'll make this kind of last call for questions. Anything about financing, anything about construction, anything about site preparation, site evaluation. We've had awesome questions here about appraisals, about financing, about all the good things. We want to hear from you. And then, yeah, we absolutely are here to answer. Now, and obviously, the conversation doesn't have to end here. Okay. Don't have to do that. We have a website open 24/7 with new home specialists on standby to answer your questions. They're not open 24/7, but the website is open 24/7. We also, let's see, we have 12 locations open 7 days a week to help you on this journey. Model homes, give you the tour. What else? We got some seminars coming up. We'll talk about those here in a second. We've got maybe a grand opening coming up. Maybe too
We
early.
do. We do have a grand opening
Sneak
coming
peek.
up.
What else? Oh, we have a YouTube channel. I don't even know this. Eric07 knows this because that's where he's watching us. We have a YouTube channel that's got hours and hours and hours of content. Every single one of these that we do gets posted over there. We have construction seminars. We have construction processes. We have financing stuff over there. We've got customer testimonials. My favorite part of our channel is the customers talking about their own homes, why they did the changes they did, how they made it. All that sitting over there. A lot of Dawn's body of work is sitting over there on YouTube. We got an Instagram page. We got a Facebook page. Obviously, a lot of y'all here doing that. So, yeah, that's what's up. So I think a couple questions dropped.
Yeah, we got Jason saying, thanks for everything. You guys are great from top to bottom. Our official process will be here in a few weeks, but in the meantime,
beat the hell out of Arkansas.
Yeah, I'm with you. Gotcha.
It's an Aggie thing. It's an Aggie thing.
I was getting there. It's just taking me a minute. I'm pure and fragile, I just
okay. We can talk about your Clemson Tigers. You don't you play these games with me?
Oh my gosh, one of my she's not my niece, but she's my sister-in-law's other niece. She went to our rival and pledged Kappa Delta, and they posted the welcome sign for the parents, and it says USC KD, and I'm like,
you can't make this stuff up.
You can't make this up. And you yeah, okay. Anyway, Tracy says she just saw us on the live on the feed. We're almost finished counting down to tentative closing on 10/23 and could not be happier we chose Tilson. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. Danielle is saying she missed what we said about the foundation because someone came to the door.
Oh. Okay, no problem. Thank you for doing your job.
She was the one asking if she could pour her own. She works for the foundation.
Exactly. So what I said was, broadly speaking, in honor of Justin Ordno, our Senior Vice President of Construction, it's going to be a no. However, what I said was, depending on where you're building, we could run it up our construction side of the flagpole. So our Vice President of Construction for the area, our Senior Vice President of Construction, Justin, we need to see, obviously some finished products of that company. And I also didn't know if you worked for like a concrete company or an actual like concrete finishing foundation company, labor. So in either case, we'd want to go out and see the body of work. We'd need to see, obviously, probably letters of reference. We're going to need to see some general liability insurance. And then we would also want to make sure that y'all are comfortable with what the things that our engineers require. So there'd be a lot of questions to answer. Broadly speaking, that is one of those sacred things that we don't typically allow customers to do because we and the engineer are both on the hook for the 10-year structural warranty. That being said, I'm sure the company you work for is a very good company. That's why you work for them, probably, because you're a very good person. And so I say that to say that the door is like cracked open for the possibility. But I don't want to build up a hope that, it's a guaranteed slam dunk. Yeah, we can make that happen. So, but just let us work with you.
Basically, we would have to vet your company just like we would vet anybody else who wanted to work for Tilson. So they're gonna go through the same process before we can give you.
And we did that, by the way, much more succintly than we did like 8 minutes ago. So this is the answer.
Yeah, you got the better answer this time.
you got the final draft, not the rough draft.
We got Michaela asking, do you need a fence to start building?
Oh, great question, Michaela. It depends on only if there's livestock. So if there's livestock there, We would like the livestock to be fenced out of where the job site's going to be, material is going to be staged. But outside of that, no, you do not have to have a fence up for us to build. Just cows, horses, goats, guineas, the things that,
Yeah, all of our construction materials are apparently very good back scratchers. They're
lemurs.
great
I
to
have a
climb
picture on my
on.
phone of
Yeah.
a house and frame stage with 5 lemurs on the fireplace. That might be the most exotic
That
animal.
was the most unique one. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We got Yvonne asking what comes with the standard builds, electric or gas connections for appliances?
Oh, great question. Electric comes standard. Gas is not very expensive. I mean, you're talking, hundreds of dollars, not thousands of dollars. So it's not that. Well, I take that back. It depends on how many drops you do. So it could be it's less than a couple $1,000 if you want to have gas connections. So great question.
Okay. Will says we need to come out and visit him again soon. Yes, we
Give me
do.
a couple cold fronts, and I may head up that way.
Yeah. Then Eric is sharing. I've watched all the YouTubes. Great resource. So
Man,
Eric's dedicated, man.
I was gonna say, I hope those aren't billable hours. That's a lot of hours.
As long as they're not billable to us, we're good. The other Eric saying, I agree. The YouTube channel with the previous live recordings and other info sessions are a huge help. Thank y'all for taking the time to do these.
Of course,
You're
man.
welcome. Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
doing
much
it.
for tuning
Thanks for
in.
checking it out and the feedback.
Yeah, I'm glad it's helpful. It's helpful
Yeah.
to you guys, and we'll continue doing them as long as they are. Taisha is saying, Faith, thanks for all you've done for me. This has been an amazing experience so far. Awesome.
Y'all gonna make Faith cry.
Yeah. Danielle saying, perfect. Thank you so much. You're
Great.
welcome. And then Will is saying, y'all have a blessed week. Thank you. You too, Will.
Wonderful. Yeah, well, man, go out there. Don't work too hard. Leave yourself something to do tomorrow.
Always.
Plenty to be done. All right. So yeah, thank you all so much for joining us. Dawn, can you tell us we got any seminar? I know we got a Waco a financing seminar coming up, if I recall.
So yeah, we have 3 seminars this weekend. Our San Marcos team is doing the general built on your lot seminar. So if you're looking to learn more about the process start to finish, that's a great one to check out. The Bryan location is doing our EasyBuy seminar. So talking about how to build your home without a construction loan. And then our Angleton office is also doing the general built on your lot seminar, and they have 2 recently completed models that you can go tour if you want to go check those out. And then the week after, that's when the Waxahachie Fall Festival and their EasyBuy and construction and all of that stuff. They'll be talking about all of that and have some fun things out there. So that's what's going on there. And then everybody save the date because October 19th is going to be our official grand opening of the Lone Star model home in Republic Grand Ranch. So there'll be some good festivities. We'll have food trucks and giveaways, and Eric and I will be there, and the construction team will be there, and just lots of people to talk to and just tour that absolutely gorgeous home. So super excited about that.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So, folks, thank you all so much for joining us today. Again, don't let the conversation end here. Reach out to us on the website. Stop by to any of our design centers. Reach out to us with Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're happy to interact with you there as well. Answer all your questions. Don't let a question go unanswered. We're here to help you out, guys. This is the happiest buyers we have are the most educated buyers. So ask all the questions. You can see we're very transparent. We don't gate this stuff either. I know the guys made comments about the stuff on you. Like, we don't just do it here live. We post it where anybody can get to it. Our competitors don't do that. They're terrified. They're terrified to tell the truth. That's all there is to it. So get out here. We're just real people trying to do right by you. Ask us questions. We'll do the best we can to answer them, and we're going to be honest about it. And we don't hide anything. We don't make you put your email address or your phone number to get this information. Like, it's out there free. We have competitors that watch this stuff, competitors that watch the lives. We know that.
Apparently competitors that comment.
Exactly. Yeah, competitors that comment. That's cool, man. I get it. No problem. It's a great place to get good information. That's why we do it. So thank you all for watching it. Thank you for making it worthwhile. We hope that we see you next week or the week after. And we genuinely hope to soon make you part of the Tilson family. We'll see y'all later.
Bye, everybody.